Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into an incredible ancient story about a massive war, a really daring rescue, and a puzzling choice that, honestly, reveals everything you need to know about a person's character.
Okay, so let's get right to the heart of this thing, the central mystery of our story. It's this bizarre offer from a king that just seems to defy all logic. I mean, after a devastating war, he gets the chance to recover all of his plundered riches, but instead, he asks for something else entirely.
So, this is the strange proposal made to our hero Abram, right after a huge military victory. Now, to really understand why this offer was even made, and more importantly, why Abram's response was such a big deal, we gotta rewind and see how we got to this moment.
All right, so let's start right there with that deal. On the surface, it makes absolutely no sense, but trust me, it's the key that unlocks this entire story.
To get the deal, though, we first have to understand the crisis that set the whole thing in motion. We're talking about a massive war, a real clash of empires that just pulled everyone and everything into its destructive path.
So here's the scene. You've got four powerful invading kings who just steamroll a local alliance of 5 kings. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, they get completely ransacked. Everything of value is taken, and all their people are carried off as captives. It is a total crushing defeat.
And of course, caught right in the middle of all of it is Abram's nephew, Lot. See, he had chosen to live near the prosperous but pretty corrupt city of Sodom, and now he's paying the price, swept up in its destruction. It's a powerful reminder, right? Those who choose to live closer to the world's chaos are often the first to get caught in it.
So when word of this disaster finally reaches Abram, he's got a choice to make. His nephew made a really bad call, and now he's in deep trouble. How should Abram respond?
And this, right here, is where Abram's character just shines. He completely defies all those typical human reactions. There's no blame, no I told you so, no judgment at all. He doesn't see Lot's mistake. He sees his family in crisis, and he responds with this fierce, loyal love and immediate, courageous action.
This just goes to show you that Abram's faith wasn't some passive thing. He immediately puts a plan into action. He gathers 318 of his own trained men, guys he had been preparing for years, and he executes this brilliant military strategy. He pursues the victorious army, divides his forces, and then launches a surprise attack at night, completely overwhelming them. And he doesn't just win back Lot, he rescues everyone who was captured.
So fresh off this incredible victory, as Abram is returning home, he's met on the road, but not by just one person. He's met by 2 very different kings, and each one of them has a very different offer. Okay, so first he meets this mysterious and really significant figure, Melchizedek. His name literally means king of righteousness, and he's the king of Salem, which means peace. On top of that, he's a priest of God Most High. So this guy shows up representing a completely divine perspective.
Melchizedek brings bread and wine, and he offers a blessing. But pay close attention to what he says. He doesn't praise Abram's military genius or his brilliant strategy. No, he frames the whole victory as a gift from God, saying God is the one who delivered the enemy into Abram's hand.
And Abram's response is immediate. He gets it. He gives his priest king 1/10 of all the spoils. And this isn't a tax, it's an act of worship. It's Abram's way of saying, you are absolutely right. My success didn't come from my own strength, it came from God.
And this brings us right back to our initial puzzle. The king of Sodom, the ruler of the very city Abram just saved, steps forward, and his request is deeply rooted in the economics and the power structures of the ancient world.
This right here is the key to understanding the king's strange offer. For an ancient king, a population was the economy. You have to remember, in an age before mechanization, people were the source of labor, they were your tax base, they were your military power. Goods could be replaced, but a kingdom without people, well, that wasn't a kingdom at all. To rebuild Sodom, he needed his citizens back more than anything else.
So all of this builds to Abram's final decision, a choice that would define his integrity for the rest of time.
So in response to the king's very practical, very transactional offer, you keep the stuff, I'll take the people, Abram draws a firm and absolute line in the sand. He refuses to take anything, not even a single thread.
So why? Why would he do that? Because he understands the implication. If he accepts the spoils of war from the king of Sodom, his wealth becomes tied to a corrupt, worldly system.
It would create a story where the king of Sodom was his benefactor, and that would completely erase the blessing from God he had just acknowledged with Melchizedek.
You can really see the two different paths laid out in front of Abram here, can't you? On one side, you've got the king of Sodom offering a worldly transaction, a deal. On the other, you've got Melchizedek offering a divine blessing, a gift that affirms his entire calling. And Abram, he chooses the blessing over the deal, every time.
So, what's the takeaway from all this? I think what we get is a powerful, three-part blueprint for character that Abram models for us. First, act with loyalty. Defend your family, even when they mess up. Second, lead with courage. Turn what you believe into brave, decisive action. And third, live with clear boundaries. Refuse to make compromises that would tarnish your integrity for worldly gain.
Ultimately, this entire episode shows us that true faith isn't about building walls to escape from the world's problems. It's about having the courage to charge right into the chaos, armed with loyalty, love, and a clear sense of what truly matters.
And that leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? In our own lives, when we're faced with conflict and the temptation of compromise, we're also met by two kings, one offering a worldly transaction and the other offering a divine blessing. The real question is, which offer will you accept?